Right, welcome to another stream. I'm just quickly setting up the top bar here because I see I forgot to do that. LPPR. PPR. We're not going to be that long, guys, maybe 20, 30 minutes. Hello, Tommy, welcome. We've got a specific test to do on Zibo's request. We've done it quite a few times already in the last 2-3 days. But now we need to see what it does in version 2.3. So I'm going to talk you guys through what we've done, haven't done, and things like that. So just want to get everything on the screen here, then I'll show you. So this is my XEnviro, and that's the plugin folder. That's what I wanted to show you guys. Okay, so because I use a Honeycomb Bravo throttle, and because it was working for years and years, however long I've had it, and it started acting up weird and doing funny things with the Zibo since version 6.0 of the early access, where Zibo implemented his own code for the auto throttle and the autopilot. Things went weird, and I've seen quite a few guys complain about the Bravo doing funny things. So that's the background. And so what I did was now this. The AFC bridge, that little file over there, it's zipped up right now. So it's not operational, it's not active in my explain. This is my backup copy, in other words. This is the Honeycomb plugin for Explain 11 that I initially just brought over into Explain 12, and like I said, it worked perfectly on the old code, the laminar code, no problem. But with the Zibo code, I have now disabled it. Right, I've been able to prove that at least on my computer, the situation, let's change this quickly. The situation where you spawn into the Zibo and the ailerons are like mismatched either way, okay? As well as after the flight is linked to that plugin on my system. Okay, so since I've disabled it this way, I no longer have this silly mismatch in my ailerons, okay? And when I disconnect my autopilot on finals, I don't have that heavy pull to the left-hand side where I've got to quickly jump in and pull back. Okay, so that's one mystery solved. So one of two things can happen there. Either it is related to the profile I loaded into the plugin, or the plugin needs an update. So in my mind, I think it's the profile that needs an update. And you know, we'll see if we can figure out how to make maybe a new profile, because by doing this, by disabling this little plugin, I've now lost the usage of my MCP that's at the top of the Bravo, and I've lost all the lights. So there's no more annunciation and no other lights come on, no landing gear lights, nothing. So it's like a dead black and white situation we have at this point in time in the controller. Okay. But at least the Zibo is working the way it should. So now we have something to go think about and work with if we want to. Then the other thing that I did was in the EFB, I disabled my custom speed brake access. Okay, I've just completely disabled it. And the reason is that when you use your access on the Bravo, you appear to have normal operation, but the Zibo code does not interpret it like a speed brake. I don't know how else to tell you. I mean, Zibo can probably give you a massive, more technical reason for it. It's irrelevant for us as flat simmers, okay? All we know is when we arm it and when it gets deployed and retracted, there is a problem after landing. So sometimes it comes up, sometimes it doesn't, sometimes it interferes or latches onto the wrong piece of code, something. I don't know. It's beyond me, okay? I'm not sure what it is. Then Zibo said to me, but hang on, he never changed the code for the speed brake. So he's now busy investigating some other influences that it could be that's causing this. Okay, so we're going to leave that as that. The bottom line is, in terms of the Honeycomb Bravo, the access is now disabled. There is no more access that is talking either through Explain or through the Zibo code over here. That's talking to that speed brake. The only way I can operate my speed brake is number 4. So on the top row of your keyboard, you know that number row at the top, right in front of you, that number 4 and number 3 is how you get it to work, right? And it seems to work for us. Okay. So just understand which one I'm talking about. Hello Flight Simmer X and hello Magnus. See, you also came in here. All right. So in terms of the Bravo throttle quadrant, okay, the Zibo uses the flap, the custom flap axis. That's the line over there, right? So when I pull my flaps or manipulate my flaps, that is Zibo code doing that from the EFB. Okay, the flaps is not mapped in my Explain at all. Explain doesn't know that lever exists. Okay, obviously the same was true for the speed brake, but now that's US gone. Okay, useless. So we now know that the Zibo code controls the flaps. Fair enough. And we now know that Explain controls my tiller, my thrust levers, and my gear lever. So that's the split between them. But if we go to here, we also know that my reversers are toggled with this command by moving my throttle levers through the detent at the bottom and activating the switches there. Right, and we now take it off, it goes off. I push forward and I can increase my reverse thrust. All right, so Explain is providing the throttles, throttle 1 and 2, and it's providing the reverse thrust. Okay, let's just jump to the top there, but it's the same thing. Okay, so that's what Explain provides. Explain provides the tiller and the gear lever. Okay, that's it. But the speed brake, this machine does not know there's a speed brake. You see there, none, that axis, it's none. And in the Zibo, it's set to none. Custom speed brake axis. There you go, none. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take off. I'm going to fly like an absolute cowboy. I'm going to make Sasso proud, okay? I'm going to fly like a cowboy. I'm literally going to cut corners, come back, make the shortest possible circuit, land. The moment we land and we hear the speed brake go, we're going to pause, we're going to look outside, we're going to check, is the speed brake up, yes or no? The next thing we're going to do is we're going to activate the reversers, see if the speed brakes stay up, yes or no. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to push the throttle levers forward, and the throttle levers, as we advance it, the speed brake must stay up. Then we're going to cancel the reverse thrusters. In other words, you know, take the levers straight through the detent at the bottom, activate that switch and cancel our reverse thrust. At which point in time, when we move the throttles forward again, the spoilers needs to retract. Okay, so that's what we are looking for right now. Hello Neil, hello Steve. All right, okay, now you're welcome, Guys, at any time, please feel free if you've got more questions, okay? So I presume a lot of guys are going to come in at the end as well, so don't be shy. Just ask your questions, we'll repeat what we need to repeat, and then afterwards, obviously, go watch the video. All right, but for now, we are literally going to go cowboy style. Okay, we're not interested in FAA, CAA, or JAR rules, or whatever is at play here. We're going to be a bunch of belugas. So hold on to your hats and enjoy the ride, guys. In actual fact, I'm just going to take it just one step further. Give me a second. I'm actually just going to put the performance data in here just to have something. We have weights and lap speeds and stuff. Okay, I think that's maybe the bare minimum we can really do, right? So we're going to do that. Hello HD, hello Dave. I'll read your messages just now, guys. HD, as far as I know, it started with version 6.0 of the early access when Zibo introduced his autopilot. Okay, that's when everybody started complaining, and that's when I started looking. While I was talking with Zibo earlier this afternoon, and he made certain comments, I said to him, you know, Zibo, I'm not the kind of guy to go outside while I'm landing and see whether the spoiler work or not. You know I've done it in the past, maybe once or twice, and I might have seen it. You know, in all the 5-6 years we've been doing this, I might have seen it once. And I actually recall there was an incident at South End where the aircraft didn't feel like it was stopping. And when we did the replay, I saw my speed brake wasn't up. But it's not something I particularly paid attention to. And it's now when the guy started complaining that I started paying attention. You know, so in all good conscience, I can't tell you this is new or this is an old problem or where it started, when it started. But I do know is that we have identified that the honeycomb plugin, or at least the profile that we import into the plugin, caused the misalignment of the ailerons. So you got something like this when you disconnected the autopilot and you had a violent pull to the one side, and after landing the aircraft was kind of skewed. And you saw the animation was weird. We've seen that, I've shown that to you in some of my stuff. So we know that. And we figured out that the Zibo code does not like the Bravo using an axis for the speed brake. Okay, so that we know. When it started, how long it's been going, I have no idea. Absolutely no idea. But obviously now that we know it's there, we want to now get rid of it, you see. Dave, I'm not sure. In terms of your question for Explain 11, I honestly don't know. You're going to have to check it. You're going to have to literally, what I do tonight, you're going to have to reproduce in Explain 11 and come back to me and say, yeah, it is. Remember, I can't run Explain 11 on my system anymore with this AMD graphics card, right? So I'm going to be totally reliant on what you guys tell me, because I can't test it. I don't have Explain 11 on my system anymore because of the terrible FPS. It's just not worth it. Well, HD, that's the thing. I don't think everybody is equally affected. This is more than likely particularly, you know, a honeycomb problem, you know, or not honeycomb as in company or product, but, you know, honeycomb / Zibo problem. Let's call it that. Yeah, please, guys, check it. Check with what you have, and then go to the forum and make your post and say, listen, I saw this on Nico's thing, and he said we must come talk to you. Here's the evidence. This is what's happening to me. Put your voice down, and then, you know, we can see what happens. Well, if you're not using honeycomb, and let's say you're using XYZ controller and it does the same, obviously we need to know about it, Flight Sim X. So yeah, that's why I'm asking. If you have something similar, come put it on the forum.
Positive read. Bank angle. 400.
Remember, at the end of the day, Zibo wants to make the most realistic 737 that there is, right? And we obviously rely on feedback from you guys to help make it that. And there's no point in doing half a job. So if it means that there needs to be more attention given to the controller code, you know, so be it. Hi. Hey, Mac.
Hello. Just looked at that and thought Sasso was flying your plane for a minute. this with auto ortho, Mika?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, so I'm going to arm the speed brake or cancel it. So that's button number 3, that's button number 4. Oops, I shot that center line a bit.
$400, $300, $500, $200, $100, 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Righto, so there we go. Spoilers deployed. No reverse thrust, right? Now we're going to go and activate reverse thrust. And the spoilers remain. Now I'm going to increase the throttle, push it forward. There's our reverse thrust. And you can see everything still works. So now I'm going to cancel it, which is normal operation. We're done with it, right? So now if we move the throttle levers forward, the spoilers must go lie down. And it's perfect. The only difference is I'm not using my speed brake axis, my lever on my Honeycomb Bravo. I'm using number 3 and number 4 on the keyboard. You should be able to hear it. I'm clicking kind of loud. See. Hello, Chris. Yeah, that was nice and smooth. Okay, so now, I just want to quickly read what Zibo said. The next test is now going to be, we're going to go there. Toggle reverse thrust. I know there's a default key binding. It was something like shift and forward slash or something, but I don't care. I'm going to make it an R. So now, oh, the other thing is, reverse. Okay, we want to kill this. Nothing. Okay, so I can go through my detent as many times as I want. I'm not going to get reverse happening there. I'm going to have to press the R button. As you can see, there it goes, and stow it. Right, let's go back. Yeah, Tommy, this is an interesting little flight, you know, to look at all the ways it really works. And to check that it does actually work. It's been fun the last 2-3 days now. Right, you ready? Let's go. So, Chris, the short answer is it's going. The testing is going. We're busy doing our thing. We're not showing off anything, Chris. We're just testing the reverse thrust slash auto speed brake, the spoiler deployment. We need to give Zibo a bit of answers here. Yeah. Hello, Krista.
Don't think. Don't think.
Oh, that sneeze was loud and odd. Okay, Zibo says in his request we must try the speed brake axis in X-plane instead of through the EFB. Alright, so we're going to do this one where the reverse is just on the keyboard, and then we're going to, at the same time after landing, we're going to configure the speed brake in the X-plane axis. See if that works.
Don't think. Don't think. Bank angle. Bank angle.
The light again.
Think rate. Think rate. Think rate. Think rate.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
See, no flaps this time.
But were they armed, Nico?
I don't think so. Now that you mention it, I don't think
Yeah.
they were.
Yeah.
Positive rate.
Well, you see, now we've got no indication, and I'm not sure if it's
Exactly.
because
Yeah.
we've already landed. Let's just try it. Yeah. Okay, my mistake. Right, so let's go do it again.
That's strange that we can hear the sound of the speed
Yes.
brakes, isn't it?
Well, the sound of the speed brake is possibly linked to some other data ref that is not linked to the actual movement of the speed brake. I didn't arm it.
Yeah.
No, guys, sorry, I forgot. That is my mistake. I'm gonna arm it now. See, you guys are necessary. You need to help check this thing. All right, now it's armed. There we go. Here's our runway. We're mighty close now.
Feet stabilized, Mr. Burcham,
Christer, I'm honestly not going to worry about etiquette at this point in time. All I want to do is give a nice show and put these wheels down and get the spoilers up, my friend. One other day we can worry about things like that.
Bank angle, bank angle, bank angle, bank angle, bank angle, bank angle.
400.
You see, cowboy show for sure.
Three hundred.
Think rate.
500.
Think rate.
200.
Pull up. Think rate. Think rate.
Right, speed brakes are on, so it should deploy now.
50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
Yay! It happened. It's in the trunk of my car. Don't tell anybody. Right, so now it's R button. There's the R button. Okay, now we move the throttles forward. Right, now we're going to stop. So all operations are normal right now. Press the R button. Move throttles forward and there goes the spoilers. Fantastic. Okay. So that has worked. Now, what he said is we must try the spoiler in X-plane. So that's the one. Speed brake. Right. Okay, but because we now know that we can use the levers for the reversers, I'm going to go back there because it's just more natural using it that way.
Nico,
Yeah.
on the spoiler, you've got 3 positions, don't forget.
Yes, I do. I know that, but that's going to probably depend on us now pulling it to a certain place. So let's look. Oh, we need to reverse that axis. Imagine not looking at that before we went flying. Ah, right. Reverse speed brake. There we go. Reverse axis. Okay, so Uncle John, if you just move it slightly, it goes and it sits in the arm position, and then you can obviously pull it. There you go.
You've got arm, position 1 spoiler, and position 2 spoiler.
Yeah. Right, so you go there, you go there. Hi, man. Stop. Guess what? We don't need you. Hey.
80 knots.
I never did the FMC. I don't suppose we need it really. It was just nice to have, so.
Positive rate.
Banking.
What a rush. What a feeling. Look at that shadow down there.
Don't think.
So keep the gear down. Right, let's go and keep it at flat 10. It's just easier. Close your eyes, Chris. Or look in the distance. That's what they always say to me. Look in the distance. Don't look too close. Last night we were joking with Sasso when the bank angle came up. We said bank angle, and then when it goes too far, it goes Sasso. I think what we need to do is when he turns right, it will be Sasso, but when we turn left, it will be Nico. You'll know you're pulling too much. Right, so let's arm this thing before we forget. There we go, it's armed. The green light is on.
If you want to look outside, Nico, just to see if they are in the tent position. Seems so, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Bank angle.
All I can say from what I've seen so far is full credit for Zibo for working this all out.
Mac, me and Uncle John have been flying this for all of yesterday, all of today almost.
It's like 2 days.
Yeah. Then we submitted the videos, multiple videos to Zibo, and we were all talking together. It was a big story, promise you.
Yeah. No.
Bank angle.
Yeah, but you don't have to play around with the code.
Nope. It's all on you, mate. Other way, dummy, other way. Yeah. Cool.
Your confidence in handling this aircraft has definitely taken a big step forward, Nico.
Oh, Mac. And we dope so after all the hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love flying this aircraft. I love it. If was about here somewhere.
500. 100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10.
Right, there's spoilers. So they deployed. Okay, let's go closer. Now, we're going to unpause and pull the levers back to the detent. There we have our reverse thrust. I'm not a good Xbox driver, guys, so just bear with me trying to keep this thing semi-straight. Okay, now moving forward. At the moment you do that, they go lie down. So, my take on it is that in the code, there is or there is not a check that says when you move it forward to read the position of the speed brake in the honeycomb Bravo. And if it reads it at the wrong time, it might see the right position as the wrong position. That's what I'm thinking. So what's going to need to happen is me and Zibo will have to sit with something like this data ref editor. We need to see what activates when. And then he's going to have to do some magic with the code. Because effectively, all I'm saying, and that's the whole idea behind this whole stream now, is you can't use an axis on the honeycomb Bravo for your speed brakes. That's what
All the
I'm saying.
answers are going to be in the software of honeycombs, isn't it?
Well, I don't know. Zibo will have to determine exactly what he does, how he's going to solve this. But for the guys using the honeycomb Bravo, that's bad news, because obviously you get the speed brake lever and you've got the little, picture here, the little lines on the thing. You want to use it, man. I mean, that's what you want to do, right? So the temporary workaround obviously is just use key number 3 and 4 for your arming and usage of your speed brake. During flight, there's no problem pulling the speed brake. During flight, you can go pull this lever as much as you want, but you can't use it to arm and for landing purposes. That's the problem. It's perfect in operation otherwise, but you can't use it for arming and landing purposes.
Can I throw a curveball in here, Nick?
You can try, Mac.
Would it be a good exercise to try in the default Laminar 737-800, and perhaps then you would not be using the Zibo code, but you'd be using just explain against honeycomb.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm wondering if it's a explain problem, then honeycomb may be more willing to look into the matter.
Yeah, okay. I'm not going to do it now, but I'll do it tomorrow. So I'll go play with the default one, and we'll see, what the difference would be. But
can you see where I'm coming
of course,
from?
No, of course, I can see that.
But probably in Zibo code, it's the control is on thrust levers instead of thrust. Probably, my guess. And so it could be enough to make a condition about reversers position in the engines, so not to deploy, not to take down the speed brakes if reversers are still on. Probably.
If that small condition can be built in, then that solves the whole problem.
Yeah.
Read
in my opinion, it could be that it's still there, but as Zibo changed the code about reversers, making it C++ own code, maybe it's still linked to the old one. Just my guess. I mean, just guessing.
Yeah, so I don't know. Well, look, I mean, Zibo's got the video. He's now got this stream as well to have a look at it to see what's spotting. I don't know if you guys actually noticed when I cancelled my reverse thrust, the left engine reverse thrust did not want to cancel at all. So we've got that kind of niggly little nonsense as well. You know, I mean, I had it at full reverse thrust. The left one cancelled, but not the right one. So Zibo will have to look at that too. And I'm not sure. You see, now it works again, but it's like it's intermittent. It's like, I don't know how to put it. It didn't work. If you replay the video 5 minutes ago, you'll see the left one struggled to pull back and actually cancel out.
Now that's right, Nico. Can you put your? I don't know whether on the ground it will work. If you put your spoilers on full lift, right, and go outside, and we got the full spoilers.
Yeah.
Right. Now then, what happens when you cancel reverse? Now. Is it both of them go down or just one? And does both reverses close?
See, now it's not doing it, but while I was talking to you guys, I just noticed I pulled back and I had to cycle it like twice to get it to actually release. To actually just listen to me and then go and release. It's weird. It's really funny.
When you said one, the spoilers sat down, but only one reverse cancelled, I was wondering whether there was an erroneous command that should have been for the reverse on that one engine that didn't close, that actually put the spoilers down.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, look at this, right? So I've pulled the spoilers. I'm manually at the back, having pulled the spoiler lever. So now we're going to move forward, and then they all go lie down, okay, which is normal operation. Yeah. So I don't know how Zibo's going to handle it. I just think he needs to, like Antonio said, read the condition and say, are we in reverse thrust, yes or no? If it is yes, leave the spoilers alone. If no, let the spoilers come down. You know, it's 2 lines of code. It's not that difficult. But Zibo will know best. You know that. He'll figure a way out to do it. But we're just speculating here. So anyway, we did the test. That's what he needed. Now we know.
Yeah.
For me, it still means, me personally, I won't use the speed brake to arm the speed brakes. I'll just use button number 4 and get it over with. Because then there's nothing that's red. Until Zibo says to me, okay, Nico, here you go, here's a new one, go test it, or it's fixed. You know, I'm just going to use button number 4.
Yeah.
You could try all the way around, Nico. You could just use some other button for reversers. You know, just to switch reversers on and off, and then just use the thrust levers without pulling them.
I know. We've done it in the stream already. That was one of the options we did.
Okay.
Yeah. So there's a couple of ways you can do it. It's going to depend on the people. The problem is not on the reversers. It's not on the thrust levers. The problem is solely with the speed brake and how Zibo interprets where it is and what to do with it. That's where the problem lies. So now it's up to Zibo to identify, is it old X-Plane code? Is it new Zibo code? Where is this state going wrong? That's all. That's up to him. He'll figure it out, I'm sure. Anyway, guys, that's it. That's all I needed to do tonight. I hope you enjoyed it. We had some fun.
Yeah. Very nice.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Thank you for all the fun, guys, and all the comments. I'm going to knock off then. Bye-bye. Welcome, Tommy.
Thanks, Nico.